Welcome to Govs TV and 91.9 Public Affairs. I'm Micah Terrell. You can learn all about different cultures and have a lot of fun at the same time at International Night here at Austin Peay. And here with more about it is Deja Ortiz and Paige Williams from the Office of International Education. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by. So first, Deja, tell us what International Night's all about.
International Night is a campus-wide event, also open to the community. Basically, we try to bring diversity to campus, and we try to expose our population to ethnic food right here on campus. And it's a free event, so people that come don't have to pay anything. And this year we have 40 tables representing different countries, so this is the highest number we ever had, so we are very excited. The event usually takes place at the Red Barn and starts at 6. At 6 we open the door. It's sponsored by the Office of International Education and and the Student of Engagement. Sorry. People that decide to represent a country, they receive funds from our office, and they can buy food and they can buy decorations for the table. We do award the first and second best decorated tables at the event. Usually international students also that are here on campus participate, representing the countries. And it's a really neat event, so I hope you come to see.
I would love to come, because that's what I have. One of my students is with the Hispanic Cultural Center, and he was telling me all about it and about how the decorations and everything for the tables are really ornate, and you guys get prizes out for that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
That's part of the whole decoration of the table. So.
Yeah, and then we have some of the students like to dress up in the attire of that culture, right?
Yes.
So that's cool too. And you have a wide variety. Tell me some of the countries who are going to be participating this year.
So we usually have, regular countries that always participate, like Argentina, Spain, Germany, Austria. We usually have tables from those countries. This year we have, as I said, we have the highest number ever. So we have table from Nepal, which I'm very excited about, and that's the neat thing, that you get to try that food. I've never been to Nepal, and I probably will never be in Nepal, but we bring that opportunity here on campus to try and experience that. We have table from Haiti. What else?
In the past, we've had East Africa in the past. Yes. We've had Australia in the past. Of course, they may change every year for what we have.
We have a Senegal table this year as well. It also depends on the international students that we have. We have a Taiwan table, China. So we'll have a lot of different countries, and some people, if they want to participate representing the same country, we let them do it. They usually make different kind of food anyway, so we don't say no to anybody just because we already have somebody representing that country.
Yeah, well, that's just great though, to get everybody involved on campus. Have a great, because you have faculty, you have students, you have a little bit of everybody just doing that, and that's awesome.
Actually, we even have an alumnus. She's a teacher in Hawkinsville, and she still participates and brings her students here.
Awesome. And so why is it so important to have this kind of exposure to culture that people wouldn't maybe get anywhere else?
Because not everybody has the chance to travel. Not everybody has a chance to go out there and experience the world. And this is just such a neat opportunity to do that here on campus, even if it's just a little bit, and it doesn't cost any money to them. So they can just come and experience the food. This year we are also going to have some entertainment, new entertainment that we are trying out for the first time, so hopefully it will work out. So all that's part of the experience, and it's just here free and open to the community as well.
That is really awesome. So Deja, if people would like to come, it's November 15th, right?
November 15th, it's at the Red Barn, and we open the door at 6. At that time, we already have a big line outside waiting to get in.
I was going to say, but it sounds like it's
but
really
it moves
fun.
fast. It does. So we try to make it go fast.
Great, cool. Sounds really fun.
And we do recommend that students bring their ID so we can scan them, but we're not going to stop people from going in if they don't have their ID, but we do recommend that students do bring it, just so we know we can keep track of how many people. It's another way to keep track.
Great, cool. Now let's talk about the study abroad program. That's another thing that you guys work on and everything and help out. So it's not just traveling, right? There's a lot more to it. So I don't know, Paige or Deja, can you tell us?
So the Office of International Education, we serve both study abroad students and international students. students. And so for our study abroad programs, we offer many different programs, such as faculty-led, which faculty leads the groups. We have our consortium programs, which other universities around the nation are involved in. Students can possibly take a class with a non-APSU professor and still get Austin Peay credit. We have our exchange programs, which they can be for a semester or a full year. And we have different providers for that. We have our bilateral contracts. We have ISEP, ISA, CIS abroad, Magellan Exchange. So there's many different opportunities that students can take. Because we have a lot of non-traditional students, it's really nice that we do offer programs that are shorter. We have programs that range from a week all the way up to a full year and everything in between. So we try to offer something for every student if possible.
Gotcha. Now, what's involved, like financial aid-wise? Because if somebody, say, is going to be traveling a while, they might need a little help, probably. So, what can they do about that?
Sure. So, we do have 2 study abroad financial aid counselors. Of course, they do the normal financial aid, but they also help our students out with financial aid, which we're very happy about. And so, students can make an appointment, usually a few months before they go abroad. And the financial aid counselor will do a worksheet. They have the cost breakdown for that particular program, and we'll make sure to see if the student has any funds they can use from that year, like leftover loans or other scholarships that they can probably put toward the program cost or the tuition cost. We do have a travel grant that comes out of our office, and it's pretty simple to get. You have to have at least a 2.5 GPA, no code of conduct violations, and be at least full-time the semester before you travel. If you're part-time, we don't forget about those students. We will do a prorated amount if they meet those requirements and apply by the deadline date. But students have used outside scholarships, GI Bill, other VA benefits, their Hope Lottery Scholarship, Pell Grant, unsub and subsidized loans, their own money, grandma's money, really any kind of money that they can get, to help pay for these programs. I have some students that fundraise. I've seen them do bake sales before to help with the cost of the programs.
So that's great. So there's a lot of wide variety that you can pull from to do that. Great.
Definitely.
And one thing that students don't realize that if they want to participate in an exchange program, that means the whole semester abroad, they don't have to pay tuition in that country. They still pay tuition here at Austin Peay, so they can use the financial aid, and they go and do the semester abroad. In some cases, they pay tuition, housing, and meal here, and they do the semester in another country. In other cases, they only pay tuition here, and meals and housing they have to pay it in the other country, but it works out about the same. But they can still use the financial aid.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing that students don't realize, that, I can't afford to live a whole semester. They pay tuition here. They need to register there, but the tuition is only paid here at Austin Peay.
Good to know, because people may think, like you said, they may not know that, so that's good to know. So what about, is it all groups who travel, or can students travel individually too?
Students can travel individually as well. Of course, we have our faculty-led programs in our consortium, which are group programs, but for those students that want to do a semester or a year, of course, most of the time they are by themselves, or maybe some other students from Austin Peay may be going, but they may be going to another campus. So it's a great way for those students to meet new people. Same thing with short-term programs, but it's really giving them the opportunity, if they stay for a semester or a year, to meet new people, maybe other international students as well. I have never had a student come back and say that was the worst experience I've ever had. It's always well worth it.
Most
for
of them
students
want to do it again.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah,
Sometimes we've had students do it 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
If they have the funds, and it's just a great thing to put on your resume, your CV. Less than 10% of American college students study abroad. So I always tell my students when I advise, even if you just do a week program, it's going to set you apart from other people because it shows that you're open-minded and that you're responsible, and that's what employers are looking for. And it's hard to travel abroad when you have to get a real job. You're not going to be able to take off a few weeks at a time, or even a semester or a year. And when can you receive financial aid?
Yeah,
It can be difficult. So the best time to start traveling is in college while you're here at Austin Peay.
Definitely. Now, what are some of the places that students can go? I know we talked a little bit about like Greece and Antigua. What are some of the other countries that people can go see?
So we have, of course, the usual: Spain, Argentina, France, Quebec, Sweden, Japan. Of course, you already said Antigua and Greece.
Italy,
Austria.
Some programs alternate; they go every other year. So we also have Galapagos Islands.
Poland is one
Belize.
that goes every other year.
Yeah, Belize.
And we have Korea for exchange programs, Japan. In the past, we've had students go to Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, China for a semester. So there's plenty of places.
Finland.
Yeah, Finland. We had a student come back from Finland and
That's
Australia.
the good thing about working with consortium, that we can reach up to 300 colleges around the world.
That's a lot. And what about languages? Like, say, for instance, I'm not very good with my Spanish, and I go to a country that's what they speak. Is there going to be any kind of assistance or anybody who can help me out
Sure.
there?
It depends on the program. That's another misconception about study abroad here at Austin P is that if you do a study abroad program, you have to know the language, and that's not all the time correct. Of course, we have our language embedded programs where you are learning the language. Some programs you do need to have at least maybe more than a beginner's level. Some countries are more strict than others about, if you can speak English or if you take English classes in English. So it really just depends on the program. But I tell students all the time in advising sessions exactly what they need. And I do general advising sessions throughout the year, as well as individual advising sessions for programs specifically.
So, no, I just wanted to, because I know Deja talked about it a little bit, but I think, and you did too, it seems like with a lot of companies, globalization is a really big thing now. So it seems like with that, do some students come with you and say, okay, I want to do this because I'm seeking a job where I can travel and be part of my career? Is that a lot of what they do too?
Definitely.
Yeah, and even if it's a job that you don't really need to travel, but you're very likely to work with somebody from another country, somebody that speaks another language, or it's just good nowadays to be aware of the cultural competency and that kind of thing, and you gain that through a study abroad program.
So I guess that kind of leads to, like, what are the benefits besides obviously being, like you said, being able to work with people from other countries and being able to travel and there's probably a lot of other benefits that people get too, right?
Yeah, students usually come back also being more confident, and we just recently had a new brochure done, and we put some stats in there. And the GPA also goes up after they study abroad. And what else?
Well, for study abroad, I mean, it definitely makes the confidence go up in the students. We have some students that barely speak, and then they come back and they're like a new person.
Yeah.
And so I think that makes a big difference just in their life, to be able to see something new. And it also makes you appreciate your own country is the biggest thing, because no matter if you're there for a week or for a semester or a year, coming back to your own home and realizing, what, this isn't as bad as I thought it it was. It makes you appreciate where you're from as well, because there's going to be cultural changes wherever you're at.
And get them out of the comfort zone.
Yes.
Even if it's just by a little bit. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, just to see what somebody else, lives are different everywhere, so it's good to see how somebody else lives from day to day.
And it's nice to see the similarities as well, because I think some people think that people are so totally different, but we're all similar in ways. I think we're more similar than we are different.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. So that's great, though. Now, what about, I'm thinking maybe of the younger students who might travel, and maybe their parents are like, oh, I'm concerned about your safety. What do you have in place to kind of help them out?
We have a parents guide actually that we give to parents. Actually, we just had a student sending us an email. My mom wants to come to talk to you before I apply, so I'm probably going to be meeting with her next week. And as I said, we have the parent guide that we give out with answering the most common questions that parents have. And we are always happy to meet with them, if they have any questions. They actually can even come to the pre-departure orientation if they want to. So we are very open to meeting with our parents.
Definitely.
Because I'm sure parents would just get a little nervous, like, oh, I haven't seen my loved one go, that far away before, right?
Yes, and
especially when they want to do a whole semester, is when they get more, more nervous. But we are open to, talk to them.
And when you do AP Day, I did AP Day this past Saturday, and I have students that are juniors and seniors in high school, and we always have a booth, and they'll come up, and the students really excited but then the parent says, well, you know, is there a ticket for me to go? And some parents are just like, no, you know, we don't want them to go. But, you know, I think eventually they're going to realize that it's going to be, you know, an added plus for them, you know, and it's going to help them out significantly in their classes as well as their life.
Definitely. The benefits seem to outweigh those concerns.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
totally.
definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Great. Well, I'm out of questions, but what else did we want to address that we didn't talk about that I missed, Keith?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One program that we offer is called the Bridge Program, and it consists of students, American students or domestic students that don't have visas. They're considered first friends, and then they help out our international students, whether they be exchange students or degree-seeking students here at Austin Peay that are international. And so we have them pick them up from the airport. We have monthly meetings. We do monthly events. We do holiday parties. We take them to Predators hockey games. And so it's a great way to get students involved. Maybe they can't study abroad, or maybe they can, but they also want that little extra, you know, communication with the students. And so we have an application process for that for First Friends, and that's due Monday, November 14th. It's online on our website. We do group interviews, and then we will decide pretty soon who's going to be First Friends for the next spring semester. And so that's a great program for students to do as well that comes out of our office.
What, which kind of, like, is it older students, maybe juniors or seniors, or what are the criteria for students who might be interested in that?
We want students to at least have probably a semester backing at Austin Peay. You have to have at least a 2.5 GPA, no serious code of conduct violations, you know, and that's pretty much the criteria for that. But we really want people, and I've seen people blossom in that program as well, where they're very, very quiet, but then they learn to get out of their comfort zone, because we have presentations where people talk about where they're from. You know, even our American students talk about, you know, where the state they're from, and so it's a great way to learn about different cultures and see where we're similar and where we're different.
And we have some friends that end up traveling all over Europe and visiting all their international friends that they made here.
Yeah, so it's a great way to keep connections.
You know,
That's awesome.
Yes.
Great. Make friends here and go there. To
yeah,
see them.
exactly.
Yes.
Great. Well, ladies, I appreciate again you coming by and
Thank you.
sharing anything with it. And again, if anybody's interested, at apsu.edu and look for the Office of International Education, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm Mikey Terrell for 91.9 Public